Okay, guys, so I guess I was right because everyone's favorite husband and wife here on YouTube are pregnant with baby number 3. Matt and Abby just announced they are having their third child, and people are not happy about the announcement of the timing and are calling them out for more than one thing, actually. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so a month or so ago, I made a video about Matt and Abby talking about how their views have been on the decline for their podcast and their family channel. Still, they get a decent amount of views that anyone would probably be pretty happy with. But with their current lifestyles and the views that they were bringing in previously, it's definitely lower now and not high enough for them to continue that lifestyle. And in that video that I filmed over a month ago now, I said, I bet we are going to see a pregnancy announcement soon because of their declining views. Here's the proof. When it comes to family vloggers, we often see another pregnancy because that is another bump in the views. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they announced another pregnancy. Because they have to keep the views coming in. Again, this is their bread and butter. And lo and behold, we have a full-on People magazine spread to announce their pregnancy. Now, does anyone else remember when People magazine that is, used to feature big time celebrities? Like when a pregnancy photo shoot in People magazine meant Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Oh, the good old days and how I miss them. But now here we are with Matt and Abby front and center. Which honestly, it made me wonder, how exactly did this come to be? People magazine wasn't in the room or closet, if you know, you know, when baby number 3 was made. So did Matt and Abby reach out themselves and said, hey, people, we're pregnant again and we want to capitalize on this as much as possible. Views are dipping, so how much will you pay us to be the first to break the news? Oh, and if we throw the other 2 kids into the shoot, does that bump the price up a little bit? So the pregnancy news didn't just drop from People magazine. Matt and Abby also posted it on their Instagram, their podcast, of course. And, you know, get this, the podcast episode is already outperforming their recent uploads by a mile. No shock there. And while the pregnancy announcement wasn't shocking for most people, it was the timing of the announcement that definitely rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and I mean, rightfully so. But don't worry, we are going to get into that in a few minutes. Because first, I want to take a look at the comments on the People magazine's Instagram post about them, because honestly, they feel a little more unfiltered, because unlike on their own page, Matt and Abby can't go through and delete all of the less than flattering comments. Okay, so one of the most liked comments says, so they want to leave 3 kids in the cruise cabin instead of 2. Cool. Yeah, if you don't know about that or what I'm talking about, Matt and Abby left their 2 kids alone on a cruise ship while they went out to dinner so that they could have a kids free dinner. They left the baby monitors there. They FaceTimed the monitors and they acted like that was a hack. And they got a lot of heat for it, rightfully so. I don't even know how they came back from that one, because that's just that they were influencing people, that was a hack. I think is going to go down in one of the top 10 craziest parenting influencing hacks that we've seen online. If not top 5, maybe top 3. It's just, it was a wild thing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that cruise ships now have a rule where you can't do that. And it was because of Matt and Abby. Crazy stuff. Okay, so the next one says, is he the one who said he wasn't getting enough attention in the hospital? We're going to talk about that later in the video. We're going to go back into the archives and see how Maddie acted in the hospital when all the attention was not on him for once. Okay, so this one says, so another kid for the grandparents to care for, also announcing right after their niece is born. Super cool on them. Exactly what we talked about. And again, we're going to talk about this too in a little bit, but Matt and Abby love to just complain like, we're so busy and we can't go on trips and we can't go out to eat and we can't do all these things because of our kids. Meanwhile, who's it? Yeah. Is it Abby's? Yeah, Abby's parents live with them. They make a ton of money where they could get really great hired help. Their jobs are pretty low effort. They have more free time than the average person does. They make more money than the average person does. Anyway, but they love to complain about that all the time. Okay, so this one says, is he going to write another song about how his life is over and he's so miserable because of his wife and kids? Yeah, Matt, Matt did that too, and we are also going to be talking about that later in the video as a refresher in case if you forget or just don't know what I'm talking about. That's true. He did that. He does that. He's also a songwriter, guys, and a song singer, an artist. And he wants to move to Nashville and just take over Broadway. And then someone said, guys, this is the influencer who left their toddlers on a cruise ship, watched them through the baby monitor on the other side of a ship. Yeah, again, People magazine. You wonder why your sales aren't as good. I would think that the average People magazine reader is not going to know who Matt and Abby are, which actually a lot of the comments were saying who is Matt and Abby. People magazine, do better. But there was definitely one comment in particular I want to talk about regarding their marriage since it's not exactly anyone's idea of marriage goals, mainly because of Matt, 100% because of Matt. But first, let's talk about the timing of the announcement because like I said, that's really what rubbed people the wrong way. Less than 24 hours before announcing her own pregnancy, Abby had just posted that she became an aunt. Her brother and sister-in-law welcomed a baby, and naturally, that turned into a TikTok moment for Matt and Abby, kids included.
Come with us to go meet our baby niece for the very first time. Of course, we cannot come empty-handed. Which one should we get?
Pink roses for the baby girl.
I think that's a good idea. Good job, buddy. Griffin picked out this little birthday cupcake, and Augie picked out Minnie. Let's go check out. Last stop, we're gonna grab some food for the new mom and dad. Could I please get 2 Butterburger meals? One with a Dr. Pepper, and then one with a Coke Zero. Got the goods. Hey, we're headed into the hospital. I'm freaking out. Are you guys excited to meet baby Brielle? Yeah. I know I'm gonna cry. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. Baby Brielle.
No touching the face, just you can touch her belly.
Really, just now his face?
Oh my gosh.
She's so big. Oh.
How do you feel?
So emotional.
You're so happy. Happy birthday, dear Brielle. Happy birthday to you.
And I'm sure that Matt and Abby got the green light to make this video, but it still felt a little bit off to me. I don't know, maybe it's just me being nitpicky or overly sensitive, but do we really need to film ourselves delivering gifts to brand new parents in the hospital? Like, can't some moments, just some moments, stay private? And I would think going into a hospital in the first place, but also into a hospital room with a brand new mother who just gave birth. Let's not film that. Like, let her be. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it or something, but it just feels unnecessary and performative. But it's not just that Abby shared her sister-in-law's new baby announcement. Her sister-in-law had posted about the baby the very same day. Again, less than 24 hours before Abby revealed her own pregnancy. Her sister-in-law does have a following, not nearly as big as Abby's, but still. Honestly, it just kind of gave me the vibe that Abby was feeling a little bit competitive, or maybe I don't know, maybe they had like a deadline with People magazine where they had to, put it out by this certain date and they didn't know when the baby was going to come. I don't know. It was a little weird though. I get why people are calling her out for it. Not to mention Abby is right around the 12-week mark, so I'm sure they felt like they couldn't hold off any longer. After all, the sooner that it's out there, the sooner they can start squeezing out every bit of content as possible with baby number 3. And that is the goal, right? Which brings us to the next thing that they will no doubt turn into content: the gender. Under Abby's post, I've already seen tons of comments like, I hope it's a girl. girl, 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 pink hearts. And even Abby is replying to some of them. But the reality is they probably already know the gender. You can find out the gender as early as 10 weeks, and Abby is already well past that point. So yeah, I bet they've known for a while. But of course, that's not going to stop them from rolling out the usual lineup of videos, such as predicting the gender, testing old wives' tales, you know, the classics which have previously worked for Matt and Abby. I'll put up a few screenshots of old ones they've done with their other 2 pregnancies for reference. And let's be real, we can expect a big over-the-top gender reveal video because those kind of uploads rack up the views like crazy. Why? I couldn't tell you, but that's just how social media works. And when a channel with 9 million subscribers is averaging only 100 to 200,000 views per video, you better believe they're not going to pass up this content goldmine conveniently growing in Abby's womb. And you might be thinking, okay, so what? They don't even show their kids, so why does it matter? Or the classic response I get from people who are avid, rabid fans of family channels: you must just be jealous. You're jealous. You're jealous. But no, that's not it. In this case, what am I jealous of? Not having a husband like Matt who makes me feel like crap? Having to do a job that makes me cry and I hate, but I have to do it because that's how we make all this money? No, that's not me. I keep talking about Matt and Abby because, first of all, they absolutely do still show their kids and use them for content. But more importantly, they put on this holier than thou act pretending they don't need their kids for views, while at the same time, they are about to milk this pregnancy for every drop it's worth. From here on out, you best bet every single video here on out will tie back to Abby's pregnancy. And here's what I'm curious about. Even if they truly never showed their kids again, but they still leaned into exploiting the entirety of the pregnancy like they're going to do, would it still be wrong? Personally, I think yes, because even if the baby isn't on camera after birth, the pregnancy itself is still being turned into content. And to me, that's exploitation too. It's also going to make their weird fans who feel like they have a parasocial relationship with them expect to see the kids, expect it because they followed the pregnancy the entire time, so they should know everything. But it also kind of makes me wonder, like we do with so many family creators, was the pregnancy strictly for content? Because you know that's the case for some of these family bloggers. Babies and pregnancy equal big paychecks on social media. As gross as it is, that is the truth. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk about was one of the comments that I read that said a baby will not save your marriage. And if you're new to the whole Matt and Abby saga, that might seem kind of rude or overstepping when it comes to the boundaries. But unfortunately for Matt and Abby, they've put so much of their relationship out there for the world to dissect that it's no surprise people are saying or thinking this. First off, we know not because we live in Matt and Abby's house, not because we're friends with Matt and Abby, but because Matt told us he sleeps in a closet. Not a guest room, even though they have guest rooms. He sleeps in a closet, much to Abby's disapproval.
Abby and I are sleeping in separate beds.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I'm a lonely gal. See, here's the thing. Say what you want. I am codependent. I went from my parents' house to being roommates to sleeping with you. And I shared a room in college. It wasn't like I ever even had my own bedroom.
You and your brother used to share a bed sometimes too.
Yeah. I hated being alone at night.
Growing up, my parents did not share a bedroom, really. They would
When
just
you were a
sleep separate.
kid even?
Yeah.
I didn't actually know that.
Them not sleeping together has nothing to do with the health of their marriage. It has nothing to do with that at all.
It can be a marker of an unhealthy marriage, or it can just be you have different schedules, you have different situations, which is our case.
I feel like me sleeping in a separate room, which is technically the closet, has actually been really good.
We're in the same room, but not in the same bed.
The closet, though, it's so dark, it's so quiet, and I have a tiny little AC unit in there that makes it really cold. I've got a portable humidifier as well that makes it very just the air is so
you guys,
so
as I'm
good
seeing more and more
humid.
gadgets enter the closet, the more I roll my eyes because I was like, man, he's really settling in here. Why don't you just get a freaking mini fridge at this point?
Honestly, that's next on my list. That's next on my list. I could have some beverages in there.
I have no words.
And speaking of closets, let's not forget Matt's failed podcast idea where he wanted to bring people to his closet bed and talk about their biggest hopes, dreams, and desires together.
It's super embarrassing, but I've been sleeping in our walk-in closet for the past month now. This is our guest bedroom mattress that I dragged all the way from our guest bedroom into here, and my wife's not a huge fan of this arrangement. Obviously, I don't know a spouse that would be stoked. This decision that I made was something I had to do just to prioritize my mental health because I was not okay. I was really struggling. I was feeling awful, and that's why I'm here.
And let's also not forget the song Matt wrote talking about how unhappy he is and how even though he has everything he's ever wanted, it's still not enough. And he played the song for Abby and he filmed it, of course, and she started crying, thinking it was somehow her fault. Matt's also talked about how he wonders what it would have been like to kiss other girls because Abby's the only person he's ever kissed.
Matt is really interested in kissing other women. Honestly, this is something I've been thinking too. I'm like, the more that Matt has gotten older and only kissed me, the more curious you've gotten about it.
I'm curious what that would have been like if I would have kissed somebody before you. Have you not thought about that? Like,
No, I
how
think
that
about
would
it.
have been differently?
But are you interested in it?
I'm gonna say no.
Matthew James.
What? No, I guess I have the curious thought of like, back in the day, what would have that been like?
Oh, well, that's fine.
You literally never have a thought ever about like what would that be like? You know what I'm saying? You never ever have had that thought before.
Of like kissing somebody else,
Like
someone specifically.
Because if you're telling me, I don't know, just like I don't know.
No, I think about it.
Okay, I'm gonna say like, come on, we're not gonna be honest here, like.
I guess I think about it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I would never say interested.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because if you're gonna pretend like, if people pretend like they don't have those thoughts every now and again, I feel like you're lying.
It's because Matt and I have only kissed each other, so then
Yeah.
sometimes it's like.
No, but
I bet they got this from the episode
even,
with Lauren and Ari, when you were like, Ari, what was it like kissing all those?
Totally. But the thing is though, if somebody is like, I don't know, like when I have a hard time believing you like this, like when you're like, I literally don't think anybody's more attractive than you.
No, I truly.
There's no shot. You can't tell me. You think Michael B. Jordan, very attractive guy. You've told me that you think he's very attractive.
But I told you, I think he's handsome.
Abby has gone on record saying how codependent she is on Matt because they've been together since they were kids. He's changed everything about her, her eating habits, all these different things, codependency. And Matt has also been known to make things about himself more than once, especially when it comes to Abby when she is postpartum, like when he gave her the silent treatment in the hospital after having a baby.
I just kind of shut down and didn't say anything. Like I was just like quiet.
Yeah, that was hard for me.
Because I wasn't going to like talk to you about it because I didn't want to like bring you down. But then by me not saying anything, I think that brought you down.
Well, you were bringing me down because you weren't talking to me.
That's true.
Or when he was mad about having to grill for everyone else on Father's Day because it was Matt's birthday. It was about Matt, not his father-in-law, not his dad. It was about Matt. People. All of this they put out there themselves. So it's really no surprise when people comment that a new baby isn't going to fix their marriage or things in general. But here's another question. For the same couple who is constantly complaining about never getting time for date nights or trips because of their kids, even though in reality they're always out there traveling or doing things without them thanks to Abby's parents living with them as built-in babysitters, why would adding in another kid fix that? None of that is going to change, but one thing we know that will change with this, at least temporarily, is the views, the money. And I'm sure for now that is enough for them because that's what they are so desperately chasing. Family vlogging is like a sinking ship right now, and apparently the only solution is to keep tossing babies on deck, hoping that one of them will plug the leaks. Not going well so far for the family vlogging world. But that is going to be a wrap for today's shorter than my usual videos. But what do you guys think about this? Do we think that Matt is going to drop a new single or throw a little man fit since the spotlight is not going to be 100% on him for a bit here? Honestly, I think that's a pretty safe bet. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you guys again in my next video.